Well, we're getting there. Here's a question for you. Do you think I'll be able, before the next milestone, episode 70, we'll be able to get our hands on that enough oil to kickstart the whole system? Who knows, right? Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac. This is Let's Play Oxygen Not Included. Things keep going wrong, and I honestly can't ever remember when each of these minor disasters happen for each episode. But I do know that our oxygen is now starting to look a tiny smidge more stable around the main base. I mean, it might have been better at some point, but it might also have been worse. While this is working away in the background, I think we're probably going to look at continuing to run through this to build up our... We're working on building our scouting rocket. The problem is that, well, it is very much an unbreathable mess over here, so here's what we do. We're going to use the oxygen that we've been saving up from all our broken gas masks. I actually think we've used up all of our oxidizer, oxalite. So, we've also almost run out of room for our slime lungs, so I guess work hard. We don't have any Atmo suits waiting on us, right? Right. This is going to be our oxalite. I'm going to babysit this one. I know what happened here. The temp shift plate tried to temp shift this igneous rock and ended up melting itself in the process. So we've got a large lump of oxalite down here. We finished our research. What was it? Gas distribution technology. So this is three things. One is that it adds the gas... check in here. It's added the gas intake and the gas output fittings to the rocket. You probably don't need me to tell you how these work. The other thing it did was add a large solid oxidizer tank? Yeah, this. We don't have any room left to put anything else in it, but here's the key point with it. The small oxidizer can only hold so much. The large oxidizer, I think, would be more space efficient. And if not, it's at least easier to get at one than to get at several. To get at one large oxidizer tank than to get at several small oxidizer tanks. Makes sense? I hope so. Faster, Steve! Faster! It is slightly burning out over time, unfortunately. At least it's overpressure down here, I guess. The main point is that we need to fuel up the solid oxidizer tank, but we also need to store oxygen in here. We need to be able to breathe. That's the important point. And storing large amounts of oxalate are a safer way to work than to just hope that you exhale enough. I don't know. Well, that egg's definitely going to hatch by the time before it needs to be lullabied again. This would be so awful if we had duplicants with allergies. Get him to that exosuit training, please. I hope we don't lose your fancy hairstyle under that hat. Well, that would explain why the oxalate kept not making it all the way. And unfortunately, because we're taking it through space, there's going to be a lot of vacuum for it to emit into. There's a better way to do this, but it is at the very end of the research branch. And it is very difficult. Liquid oxidizer. Store liquid oxygen for burning rocket fuels. Must be built by a rocket platform. So, here's the thing. Oxygen. You have to somehow get it down to negative 180 degrees Celsius, negative 83 degrees Celsius, but not too much further than that, otherwise it turns into solid oxygen. If you could do that. And speaking of dealing with that, we should probably set up the rocketry power outlet here. But yeah, as I was saying, if you do manage to do that, you pump it in, and it doesn't get lost to space because it's a piped element rather than one you have to carry by hand. Now, the downside. How far can we go? We can't go all the way, that's sad. Okay, just a short trip then. Wait, no. Let's think about this. Where would I want to explore? Over here, because that'll probably give us the best range. Oh, actually something we could do right about now once we finish tiling all this off, so set this tile to 9, this tile to 8. I'm going to want to bring in a sweetle. I'm also probably going to want to add a battery here. And then plug it in and oh dear, suddenly everything's happening. Okay, let's have another look at the old Artemis again. What if I were to run some cables through here and introduce a plug slug? It would be a lot easier to tell if these guys hadn't just given up for the night. Yeah, I don't feel like that would be safe. Oh, new arrival. Starry-eyed but pacifist kitchen menace, wrong stats. Yeah. I feel like Starry-eyed isn't helpful at this point. We need Loner or we need Diver's lungs. Honestly, we shouldn't even care about disinfecting that one. Well, you are getting higher chances of growing that cuddle pip. I'm beginning to wonder if... So we produce 10 per cycle. Negative 10... No, we produce 12 per cycle. For each duplicant we have 12 duplicants. We go through 144 kilograms per cycle. Whereas this will consume 160. So we are on a deficit. This is going to drain our system more than we can produce for it. Just going to be a bit slow. Not very noticeable is the way we'll put it. We need more oil. Is the radiation getting any strong? Ooh, it is getting indeed stronger. Can we tell from the star map? Rocket fuel... Rocket oxide. So, actually, fueling it with oxalite might have been a mistake. So you've got plenty of oxygen. We've got plenty of oxalite here, I think. Well, either way, we're now free to import a little bit of a friend. You two haven't laid any eggs, have you? It might happen, but at the moment it hasn't. that room is probably okay for one Sweetle on its own and an egg. And if it isn't, whoops. Looks nicely cool in here. At some point we're going to have to finish this insulated pipeline. And maybe install, I guess a battery. And then hook some cabling up to it so that it can draw from the rest of the power grid, but still pretty long-term stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm fine with losing these the cobalt wiring metal. Because it just means more power, and at the moment we do actually have enough of a power demand to need it. Alright, get the history back out. I think it's time to start shipping. This is going to be a very long-term project. This will not speed up the time it takes to finish, but it will reduce the amount of time that I have to babysit it, and that's important. I know there's ways to actually produce long-term fertilizer, I just don't have access to it. And yeah, we found the hot polluted oxygen vent. It is very hot, as you'd expect. Honestly, it's kind of hard to find... vents or geysers or volcanoes that don't have some sort of massive down... How long have you people been here? Okay, let's clear the way for our new Sweetle friends. Give them maximum access to the grub fruit. Okay, there's a little project to work on in your spare time, guys. The radiation gets stronger every time. Unfortunately, it also looks like we've run out of polluted water. Okay, now we can start venting everything in as we take it. Granted, I need to remember not to leave that for too long. And whenever we want, we can just dig straight down and the Great Hall bonus will spread. Granted, I feel like the 6 duplicates we have over here is already pushing things. Let's not push it more. What we could do some pushing for is deconstructing these, so we now have 2 functional toilets because... Ooh. I don't see anyone getting super infective as of yet, but it's still a thing that we could do without. Here's the question. Yep, you laid an egg. You're cramped, though. Sorry, little buddy. I think the idea is that you leave him to his own devices to tend to these grubfruit plants over here. And you keep his egg in this box over here, so use the box to sort of micromanage keeping him in the right place. I suppose we might as well start again. That's silly. I don't know how the grubfruit... Probably we dug up a grubfruit here and he decided to plant it. But we should probably aim to ship over some more sulfur to feed those grubfruit plants. And with that in mind, prepare to ship another ton of diamond. And that in mind again. I was hoping to finish the episode, but I might just have to keep going even further because, like hell, I'm going to leave this oil. I'm going to leave the oil undone. This poor little bliss burst. Well. Okay. Send another ton of oil through. What I could do is set up an automated notifier to catch me in time every time, so it'll immediately lock up the game whenever it fully goes through. Yeah, we're just working hard on that calculator. It is getting very bright over here. Nobody's gotten sick yet, but that's not to say it can't happen. I think this wild wheeze war sadly isn't going to last. It just can't keep that polluted ice from melting with all the... Oh. It was old age. But still, you have to feel bad for it. You know what we really could use sending through? I mean, sulfur, yes, but I'm beginning to think we might have to send through the berry sludge. But at the same time, we kind of have to hang on to the berry sludge for when we make the really long-term journeys, like when we have someone setting up a base on another planet. Keep going that way, guys. I believe in you. Actually, I need to have a look at how fast this thing actually goes. 0.9 tiles per cycle, and it has a 6 tile range. So that means they'd last for about 7 days. Till death. What would be nice if we just made an oil refinery and started making petrol rockets, but... Petrol rocket. It takes space research, it takes radiation research. Those are things we don't have. I'm not exactly sure what sort of rocket I'm going to have here, but I know it's probably going to be... Ooh, maybe carbon dioxide. I'll probably uncover the carbon dioxide vent and start pumping that over to here. Or actually, it might be a better idea to make it a steam rocket. I don't know. I need a rocket to do the... I need a rocket to just act as a satellite, orbiting a planet and producing the necessary, What's it? The data banks to do the research. But I also want a rocket to go out and scout for me with all the... with the telescope. There's just so much that I want to do. And that might include more oil. So, until next time guys, take care. Please be smarter than these slicksters. Not again.